Hey lovelies, I'm back. It's me, Tiffany, and we are going to get ready with me while I talk about the Real Housewives of Dallas, Season 5, Part 1, Reunion. And I'm pretty excited to do this with you guys again. So I want to start just by explaining, I've been watching The Housewives since 2008. It's always been like a guilty pleasure of mine. I started with the Real Housewives of Orange County, and it just like the addiction just kept going from there. So I will tell you though, I won't be doing Real Housewives of New Jersey very often because I used to be a really big New Jersey fan, and then it seemed like, I don't know, I just kind of got tired of Teresa and her stuff. Like, I don't know. You know, that's me. Everybody has their own, like, franchise that they like. But anyways, I just wanted to tell you why. You might not see any videos of me doing The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Although, I'll probably catch myself starting over, binge watching from Season 1 like I do with all of them. Right now, went back and started watching The Real Housewives of Orange County from the very first episode, and I think I just finished season 13. Oh no, it's the one before Bronwyn comes in. But anyways, so yeah, if I ever decide to start all over with New Jersey, maybe I'll get back into it and do it again. I don't know. I haven't watched it since Teresa came back from prison and all that stuff, so I don't know. Anyways, that's not what we're here for. We're here to discuss the Housewives of Dallas because the first reunion part aired not last night, the night before. It was the night before. All right, let's get our little Dallas discuss started. Just so you know, I've already primed my face, and I used this. It's a really good face primer. I got it in my BoxyCharm. So yeah. All right, so we're starting to talk about the Dallas Housewives. So let's start with like the way that their attire and their glam. Now, I think that the Dallas Housewives, like, I thought they all looked pretty good. Oh wait, first, I'm really sad because Carrie tested positive for coronavirus, and Brandy was on the plane with her, so they had to like join in on video, and they had like these big frames of the video. Oh, it was crazy how big those screens were. But anyway, so they had to do it virtually because of that. So anyhow, I want to just start off by saying that Stephanie is my favorite out of the whole Dallas franchise. There's just something about Stephanie. She's just so like sweet, and she is very classy too. Like, I like that she really asserts herself well, and yeah, she's also like nice about, you know, she's not mean girl. She's not mean. And I think that's why I like her so much. But yeah, so I thought Stephanie looked great. I thought her dress was pretty cute. It appears that the black and white is the theme of their reunion. So, okay. So yeah, I thought that Stephanie looked nice, and she looked classy and pretty as always. Cameron, it's so weird whenever I see her not in pink. I'm so used to her being pink, pink, pink. But I actually thought that her look was really classy. Like, I liked the dress style on her with her hair styled the way that it was, and her makeup looked really fresh. I really thought that she looked really pretty. Deandra, I don't know if I was the biggest fan of her outfit. Maybe it's because she wasn't wearing a dress. I am a sucker for a good dress. But so Deandra didn't wear a dress. She wore like a blazer and pants. But I liked her hairpins. Her hairpins, they were real fancy and cute. And then, okay, so Tiffany, I'm still, verdict is out. Like, funny, because me and her share the same kind of name. Same kind of name. We share the same name. Her name's Tiffany, my name's Tiffany. What am I saying? Anyhow, like, there's things that I liked about her, and then there's other things that I was like, I don't know. Is she a good fit? I don't know. So I liked her dress, and her makeup was good, although maybe I'm being like critical right now. I just felt like her nose was a little too contoured on the like sides. I don't know. I've never done contouring to my own face, and but I've seen it done, and I know that there's sometimes you can like do a little too much slenderizing. I just thought her nose looked really slender. But again, that's just me. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. Carrie, from what I could see, she looked good. I mean, she looked fresh. She didn't look tired or, you know, out of it or anything. Like, I thought that she looked more like fresh and well rested compared to the other parts of the season. And then Brandy, of course. I thought that she looked, you know, she looked good. She's a new mom again. So, I mean, she looked better than what I did after I've had my children. Let's just say that. I don't think I could look quite that great. I think her baby was only like a month or a few months old or something like that at the time. I don't remember. But yeah, I really thought that the Dallas Housewives brought it pretty well with their attire. Okay. So, of course, now we start out with the introductions, and Cameron, during hers, she's like, oh, and I have my pink briefcase of evidence. Like, my goodness. These housewives shows and their evidence, like, it's just something else anymore, isn't it? But, you know what? I will give it to her because, you know, even though Cameron's really, like, she's blonde, she's very into pink. Everybody takes it as if she's like really ditzy or, I don't know. I feel like I get the impression that she has to prove herself and her intelligence to others more than what maybe your average person does, because people see a blonde and she likes pink and they're just like, she must be an airhead, but she's not. She's actually a pretty smart cookie, I think. I feel like people can't really hide much past her. Do you remember last season when Brandy had adopted Bruin and Stephanie was holding the party for him and Cameron knew it. She knew somebody, like, was either Stephanie or somebody was like gonna have a baby, or like she knew that something with the baby was going on. So she's not stupid. Anyways, oh my gosh, when they showed the clips of them and D'Andra getting spanked, oh my gosh, I forgot how she was just sitting there like, oh, somebody's like spanking her, like she was, Jeremy probably has fun with that, that's all I could say, because she was just sitting there like it was another normal afternoon for her to just sit there and have somebody take a wooden, I don't want to say a stick, but a wooden paddle to your butt. Like, I don't know if I'd be that cool about it. But it makes me laugh. I just feel like the Dallas girls, like, they know how to party. Don't get me wrong, because my New York girls, I mean, Luann, who could ever forget? If you're a true Housewives fan like I am, then you'll never forget Luann when they were in Cartagena. And I want to definitely say it was Cartagena. But anyways, she fell in the bush because she had been drinking too much. That was a good episode. Again, not talking about New York. Although, new season premiere just came on the other night. And I will be doing another one of these videos to discuss that. So, that's when I can discuss my New York stuff. Anyhow, so, oh my gosh, and then they showed Mama D, that clip on how she got Glenn Simmons. Like, okay, was I the only one sitting there like, girl, you should not be telling this to the whole world. Like, seriously. Was I the only one? I hope not. Let me know. Let me know what you guys thought about Mama D and her, how she got Glenn Simmons. She like said she studied the way that he, like his style and where he went and what he would be into. And she basically like put herself in those places he would be so he would notice her. And like, anyways, well, she ended up getting him because, you know, they got married and he adopted Deandra, or, right? Didn't he adopt her? Or, yeah, I'm pretty sure he adopted her. Gosh, I'm normally better with remembering things like that. But anyways, so, I really thought it was funny that Tiffany said that she has an Excel sheet for everything in her life. And she said even her husband, and I want to believe that she was joking, but part of me does not believe that she was joking, like, at all. Because it was the way that she said it made me think that maybe she did have an Excel sheet for him. I don't know. She seems like she probably wouldn't. All right, so Andy starts, the next part was Carrie and Deandra's friendship. Now, this season, with Carrie and Deandra, they like were like a cat and a dog getting into it, or maybe even like sisters or something. Like they just, it was awkward even for me, like as a viewer. Sometimes I'm like, ooh, they are really going at each other and in front of like everybody, obviously. So yeah, they talk about, you know, their state of their friendship. And I feel like Carrie was so passive aggressive this season with Deandra. Like, and obviously we know now that she was going through her own kind of stuff with her husband, which I hate to say it, but I always kind of saw that maybe it wouldn't work out between them. Just because of how like their interactions were with each other. Like, I just felt like it was a interesting husband and wife dynamic. And I don't know, with these housewives, it's like crazy, but you can normally kind of tell who is going to like last or what marriage may not by the end of the season. So anyways, sorry, I'm getting like really into this for a second. Okay. So I kind of, like I said, I felt like Carrie was being kind of passive aggressive towards Deandra. And, you know, obviously I know now that she was going through hard times. But I just don't condone like being so mean to your friends. Like, even if you are going through a hard time, like she was coming at Deandra pretty hard this season. And I will say though that I like Deandra, but she does kind of have, you know, like only child behavior. And I can say that because I have a sister who's 6 years older than me, but she basically like lived with her mom while we were growing up for the most part. So, you know, there's a lot of times I felt like an only child. And when I was a kid, I know I had only child syndrome every now and again, where I thought that the sun and the moon, you know, would rise and set upon me. But I had to grow out of that. And especially now being a mom to 3 kids, I definitely can't be like that. So anyways, I just feel like, you know, and I'm not downing anybody who's A, an only child, or B, has never had their own children. I'm not saying anything. I just personally think that Deandra has that in her to sometimes be a little more selfish than the other ladies, and that's what I'm saying. We're all human. We all have flaws. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm not, you know, you get it? You got it. Anyways, but I do think that Carrie takes things too far. Like, there's a time and a place, and sometimes I don't think that she's understanding the time and the place. Like, when she was so rude to the Bigfoot hunter guy that was in Oklahoma with them during the Oklahoma trip. Oh, he was such a sweet guy. And she was berating that man. I felt so bad for him. I felt like uncomfortable even watching it. But I just think that she just doesn't know. Like Carrie wants to have a fun time, but she takes it to a whole other level and doesn't know when to reel herself back in after she's gone so far. That's just my opinion. And I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know these people. I'm just saying what I see on the show. That's all I'm sharing. So, anyways, I do feel like Carrie and Deandra they have a love-hate relationship with each other. I really feel that maybe they spent too much time together and on the road doing stuff and just really got under each other's skin. You know, like when you're hanging out with your friends too much when you're younger and you guys just get like sick of each other and you need your space. I feel like that was Deandra and Carrie this season. I don't know if anybody else did, but I was like, man, they are going at it like sisters would, you know? And I felt like none of the other wives even knew what to say or what to do because they didn't know their place. Like, okay, they were fine a second ago and now they're really going in on each other, you know? So hopefully they said in the reunion clip, like when they talked, you know, they talked about wanting their friendship to repair and all that. So maybe they'll get back on track. By the way, I have allergies, so if you hear me sniffling and stuff a lot, it's because my nose is really itchy, my eyes are itchy, my nose is runny, like I'm falling apart over here. I don't know if any of you guys have seasonal allergies, but oh my gosh, it's driving me nuts. And it doesn't help that in my state, the mask mandate is over, so you don't have to wear a mask. But it's like, do they not take into consideration the fact that it is allergy season? So like, I feel like I'm gonna have to explain myself no matter what because of COVID. And stinks. Anyways, again, let's go back to what we were talking about on Dallas. Okay, so now at one point in the reunion, Deandra said that Stephanie is like a doormat, and I think it's because of how Stephanie said that she would have like maybe handled the Carrie situation, because they were talking about Carrie and Deandra's friendship. So I want to say it had to pertain to that. And Deandra said like that she wasn't a doormat friend, like basically saying that Stephanie's a doormat, and I disagree. I don't think Stephanie's a doormat. Stephanie is like the epitome of a classy woman. You know what I mean? Like, you don't wrong her now because she'll correct you. But I don't feel like Stephanie is like the type to act a fool and like come up out of her. Like, I don't know. Just because she doesn't, you know, lash out or whatever doesn't mean that she's a doormat. Just means that maybe she finds a more diplomatic way to conduct herself. Just saying. But like I said, you know, hopefully Deandra and Carrie can move on and, you know, put their issues aside and move forward. I mean, definitely if they're both coming on next season, then that's probably what it'll be. They started out this season, you know, like on the odds with each other. They'll start off next season being friends and really confusing us. Just watch. I'm on to you, Bravo. I know what you're doing to me. You're making me think like, oh, these girls, whew, they're not going to be friends anymore. Oh my gosh. The next thing you know, they come back the next season and it's like, oh yeah, we patch things up. And I mean, normally those same two will get back into it with each other. But still. Okay, so I am laughing about what like all the viewers that sent in their thoughts to Andy. I do think it's so funny that they, and I don't know their names. It was multiple people basically talking about how long Carrie celebrated her 50th birthday, which I actually didn't realize it, I guess, during the season. I wasn't just like, dang, they're celebrating her birthday again. But then after they were showing like some of the clips and stuff, I'm like, man, we really did celebrate her birthday for a while this season. I'm not mad at you, Carrie. I don't know. When I turn 50, maybe that'll be me too. I don't know. Okay. So then we all know that Carrie's marriage was coming to an end. Obviously, because of just Eduardo, I believe that's his name, right? Eduardo? Oh my gosh. I'm questioning everything now. It's like I get on the camera and let me just say, it's only like my 4th or 5th video. This is my 2nd Housewives one, and I am nervous for whatever reason. I mean, I don't even know if anybody's watching any of these. I don't think I'm quite that popular, but I don't know, just being on the camera makes me nervous. So anyhow, let's go on. So I just feel like with Carrie, it was like she, you know, was just acting out this season because of what was going on at home. Like her daughter's mental health issues, which, let's just be honest, I think that 2020 just did a toll on so many people. There's so many people that I know personally that just, if 2020 wasn't already enough with everything going on in the world, had a lot of people who had their own worlds come crashing down, you know, relationships that have fallen apart. And you know, so I get it. I get maybe why Carrie's behavior was a little more erratic this year. I felt like she was just a little more out of control. Is that right? Can I say that? Out of control? I mean, like I said, like I did mention how she was with that guy that was doing the Bigfoot thing, like hunting. They went to Oklahoma because that is where Stephanie's from. She's from Oklahoma. So of course with COVID, I don't think they were going out of the States, you know, with all the restrictions, obviously. So, they stayed in the States, and Stephanie decided to take people to Oklahoma, like that's where she's from, you know, and Carrie just acted ridiculous to this man who was like a Bigfoot hunter, which he does for fun. I mean, obviously in Oklahoma, they are, you know, they're hunters. It's not outside the norm. But the way Carrie acted, I was like embarrassed for her. I thought it was so rude how she treated that man. I felt bad for him. And he handled it so well. Like he really did. Anyway, so at one point in the season, Carrie like was talking to her girls about how her mom, which I guess that she's never had that close of a relationship with, but how her mom was a binge drinker when she was growing up, and that it basically like put a rift between her and her mom. And Andy, after they talked about that, he was like, well, I kind of feel like you were binge drinking on the season. And then asks the other ladies, like, do you think that she's, you know, a binge drinker? And they say that, you know, they don't really see her drink all that often. Well, okay. Let me just say, like, outside of this Housewives talk right now, like, let's just put that one on the back burner for a second. There's a difference between alcoholism and binge drinking, okay? Binge drinking is when you are just taking one drink after another, after another, after another, after another. I know this because when I was younger, I used to be a binge drinker, but I wasn't an alcoholic because I wasn't drinking every single day. But when I would drink, I was irresponsible. So I would just drink one drink after another, and before you know it, well, if you're a drinker, you know, you're pretty wasted. Anyways, so they didn't agree that, oh, and an alcoholic to me is like you're drunk all day, every day, all the time. Like there's not a, and I would know, I have people in my family that are alcoholics that do struggle with alcoholism. So I feel like I know the difference well enough to know that. I mean, I'm not an expert here. I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, I'm not a addiction specialist or anything. I'm just a person that watches reality shows, does my makeup, and I guess posts about it on the internet. Anyways, so of course they say no, like she's not an alcoholic. We don't see her drinking that much and stuff. However, though, and I'm not saying that she has a problem. This is just my opinion from what I saw on the show. Is that I do think that Carrie was binge drinking this season, as in she was getting very drunk within one night, drinking a lot of consecutive drinks in one night. I do feel that she was, but with everything going on, I also feel like it was a way for her to cope. So, I'm not a doctor or a specialist or anything, but I'm a person and I understand escapism when you're going through tough times. So, that's all I gotta say about that, is that I do think that she was binge drinking, and I do think that she was pretty destructive while drinking too. I mean, when you're breaking things and wreaking havoc like that, like that's a problem too. But I think it was all just coupled. I do. I don't think that she intentionally went to like destroy things or to act a fool while being drunk. I think that she went with the intention of having fun. And once you get to a certain point of drinking and it all hits you and you don't have any more control over yourself, you don't make the best choices. Do I think that she apologized or like humbled herself well? No. I mean, heck, even when she broke that piece of plexi at that oh, the Dallas set. Dallas Housewives, Dallas TV show. Come on, Tiffany. Again, sometimes my brain is mush. Sorry. But anyways, so, you know, when she did that, Brandy kind of took the blame. When she was on the phone with the person who, like, runs the property, Brandy basically took the blame for it because she felt so bad. And Carrie just sat there and let her. When really it was like, Carrie should have at least been like, you know, it was actually me. It wasn't both of us. It was just me. But Brandy's nice, because, Okay, so, now, on to the next part. Cameron, oops. Okay, Cameron got her dream house, as we all saw. Which, I mean, her husband is just such a champ to, like, let her put up all those pink decorations. I don't know. My husband's pretty sweet, but I don't overdo it with, like, the pinks and the, you know, I try to take his consideration in, but heck, for all I know, Court's into it. I mean, you know what's weird about them is that they seem like an odd couple, but they're really not. They like are odd, but yet they make sense. It's the weirdest situation. But it's like opposites attract, or, you know, I don't know how to say it, to put it, but I just like seeing their relationship. It's good. Anyways, so she got her dream house. Yay. And then, oh yeah, I forgot. She got that dog Fancy. And I've never had a small dog. I mean, I have a like 140-pound, 1-year-old Rottweiler. So I don't know anything about Pomeranians. I don't know anything about small dogs. Although ironically, the breeder I got my dog from, she also breeds Pomeranians. How interesting. Anyways, that's beside the point. So Fancy went to a dog trainer, which they like gave Cameron this whole like board of basically what Fancy's training is, and they're supposed to follow it. Well, I guess that Cameron, if we remember, her grade was a C. Now, again, what I'm about to talk about, I think that for Cameron, she gets, by the way, this is the SpongeBob sponge from Wet n Wild. It's so cute. I'm always gonna be such a 90s kid. Like, it'll never change. I'll just always be a geek for anything 90s. Anyways, so, I think the reason why Cameron's be really sensitive to what I'm about to talk about is because, again, everybody treats her kind of like she's stupid. And I think that it just really gets to her. And this season, Tiffany, she was just really condescending towards Cameron. Like, I don't want to say that Tiffany had it out for Cameron, but I definitely feel like she kind of more or less went out of her way to make Cameron feel stupid on multiple occasions. So, the dog trainer gave Cameron a C+. And I guess Tiffany like tweeted about it or whatever, and it upset Cameron. You know, because I think Cameron's just tired of everybody treating her like she's so stupid. And then like even with the dog thing, it's like, did you really have to like retweet that? And then, I mean, not even that though. I mean, which I'm going to talk about this probably here in a second. I have my notes. I'm pretty sure I wrote it down in my notes. But I feel like Tiffany just kind of, like with all the tweets that she, because even Andy said that some of them were pretty mean. All those tweets though, like angled at Cameron, I just wasn't cool with. Because, now don't get me wrong, Cameron had to grow on me too. Because I wasn't sure with her at first. But she's really grown on me. And I really did feel bad that her feelings were so hurt knowing that, you know, Tiffany had you know, tweeted out some pretty mean things about her. So I understand. I'd probably feel the same way that Cameron did. If I was also treated like I was just some dumb blonde all the time, you know? I don't think anybody wants to feel that way. So now, anyways, we're going to move on to Tiffany's segment. First impressions of her, I thought she was very pretty. I mean, she is very pretty. But I kind of felt in one sense that she was like full of herself, but then in a completely different sense, I felt like she was like super insecure. Which is weird because, you know, those are two vastly different opinions, am I right? But, like, in one breath, I just felt like she was just a really secure, like, person with herself and her, the fact that she graduated, like, college with her, her her doctorate, PhD or, you know, whatever. Anyways, so she was already like a doctor at like 23. She was done with her med school. And like, that's pretty impressive considering most people are finishing up like a 4-year school at that age, let alone to be a doctor, you go to school, you do residencies, you do internship. Like, I know that there's a lot more to being a doctor than, you know, what it would be a typical run of the mill, like, you know, business degree or whatever. Anyway, so for her to do that, I mean, and to go to college at such an, I mean, that right there shows, like, girl, you got ambitions, you got drive, like, but I also kind of feel for her because her whole young life, that's all she did was just work herself to death to be successful, to prove herself, to feel her mom. But anyways, so, oh yeah, that's what I wrote. Too much pressures on herself. Yeah, she does. Like, I feel like she puts way more expectations on herself than what it needs to be. And the situation with her mom, like, I don't know, because her mom would be on screen and I would get one feeling of how her mom was, but then it's like she would be talking in her, you know, confessionals or whatever, and I feel like she has a totally different perception of what the viewers did. Like, I felt like her mom was just asking normal questions, but she, like, took it, like, so hypersensitively, like, that her mom was looking down on her, and I don't know. I don't know. So, anyways, sorry, sometimes I just, like, get into, highlighter's my favorite. Is it, like, not anybody else's? Like, I don't know what it is about highlighter, but I like it a lot. Okay. Anyhow, so I just feel like she, like, reads way more into what her mom says and takes it so drastically different than what probably her mom really means. So, excuse me. I'm telling you guys, this is not a fun time of year for us with allergies. Check on your friends with allergies. We're not doing good. We're on the struggle bus. Okay. So, and then they talked about, because, you know, obviously with her being in the medical profession and now being on a TV show, like, Andy's always asking people that, like, oh, you know, how did it affect your job? And I honestly felt kind of bad because it seems like, again, I wasn't too sure about her, but I'm still, like, a person with feelings. Hang on, let me do my setting powder, or my setting spray. Ready, and space. I didn't go nowhere. Ugh. Some of that got into my mouth. Yum. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, I just feel like she's looking more into things than, that her mom is saying to her than I feel is really there. Like, when she decided to do the part-time work and her mom was asking her, like, if her benefits or whatever would stay the same, or if, like, you know, basically, I think it was just her benefits or her, something like that, but, and she said, no, Mom, like, you get part benefits for part-time work, and, I feel like she, like, took it so much worse than what, I just felt like it was her mom asking her questions, like, you know. Okay. So then, oh, and I just gotta say, not that. You know, Tiffany, and I doubt that you'll ever see this. I think it's pretty cool that your maiden name is Moon and now your married name is, or your maiden name is Sun and your married name is Moon. I did find that pretty interesting. But also, who cares if your colleagues have anything to say? You know, I think that you can still be taken seriously as a doctor and do a reality show. There's so many people out here that do reality TV anymore. Like, I think that this could just open up the doors, you know. But I just kind of felt bad when I heard that people were in her life were giving her so much flack for being on a reality show because, for one, Housewives, I mean, they have been going, this is 13, 14 years now that they've been doing this. I think they started filming, oh my gosh, no, it's been longer. I think they filmed the first season of Real Housewives of Orange County in 2005. So, I mean, that's a long time. Such longevity, and I really don't think her career is going to get jeopardized because of it. But anyways, so then they went on to talk about her, like, TikToks, because I guess that she put out TikToks. I'm not on TikTok. Does that show my age right there? I'm not on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok. I don't watch them very often. I mean, unless, like, somebody, like my brother-in-law sends me a funny one. So, but I guess that she was doing, like, impersonations. Tiffany was doing impersonations of her mom. And, you know, Cameron kind of brought up that, like, doing impersonations, doesn't that add to the stereotype of a certain, because, you know, Tiffany's Asian. I don't want to get the wrong nationality. I want to say that she's Chinese and that she said that she is Chinese. But I feel like if I cemently say that, I could get that held against me. And if I'm wrong, like, I don't want to be wrong because I don't want to offend anybody by any means. But, and even with this right now, with the impersonation thing, to me, I find humor in it. Like, she's just kind of making fun of something that went on in her own life. I can see where maybe it would be a stereotype because she is Asian. She is doing a very thick accent when she does it, because obviously when you're literally from another country, you have a thick accent. So she's impersonating her mom. You don't always have a thick accent, but a lot of the times you can have a thick accent. So she's impersonating her mom. And so that's why she puts on that voice like she does. And I mean, listen, I make jokes about white people stuff, and which, I mean, could be stereotypical. I do. But I think right now with everything with race in this country and the hypersensitivity, I just think that it's easy to get anybody upset, because it's all about perception. And if somebody's perception is like what she's doing is offensive in those videos, and they're going to take it offensively. Now, I have kind of dark humor, so I would probably find something where you're making fun of yourself to be very fun. Actually, I do. Most comedy, that's, yeah, I like it. I like dry, dark, sarcastic kind of humor. So, I mean, like, for me, I found her TikToks to be funny when they showed up the videos of them on the reunion. But I guess, like I said, that's up to everybody's interpretation. I mean, it's I think that's just like your own personal feelings of it. And it also has to do with your own experiences, your beliefs. Like, there's just so many things that come into play. So I can see where people would be offended, but I also see where people wouldn't be. But, anyway, so with Tiffany and Carrie this season, like, in the beginning, it seemed like there was, like, so much tension because Carrie wanted to just have a fun time. And I feel like Tiffany just wasn't sure what to do with herself because you can tell that she's not one that had went out to party and do a lot of things like what these ladies do. And I think that, she, in the beginning of the season, especially, for it being her first season, she really didn't know what to do or how to act or react. And I think that she just wanted to make sure she wasn't doing anything wrong or, whatever the case may be. So I feel like she probably took Carrie to be too much probably at first. So I think that Carrie was trying to be fun and be funny and all, but I think that Tiffany maybe was not in that place for it at the time. So then they go on and they talk about, like, Tiffany with the other women because the season, for a newbie, it was kind of interesting. Like, the girls all went to her house for a dinner And obviously she's an anesthesiologist, so she probably worked like a 13-hour day. Since in the medical field, they have long days. So she, you know, was hosting them over that night, and I think she had to work early the next day. So she like made a time limit for when all the ladies had to like leave her house by. And, you know, these Dallas ladies, they turn up. And they are looking to have fun for the majority of the night. And 10 is far too early for them. 10:30. And then not only that, but when she made her pizzas there that night, was it the pizza party that she added? Was that there? Or was that the night that she wanted everybody to try the chicken feet? Either way, both times that she was a host, she messed with their food. And I'm sorry, but like, let me get into the food. First, let me talk about how she was correcting people all season. Now, I don't know. I feel like she is a very educated woman, so maybe she wants to be helpful and be giving people, like, you know, the right words to use, right terms and all that. But I just kept feeling like she was kind of like mean girling Cameron with it because of how she like she just came off condescending when she was trying to educate the other ladies, and especially Cameron. Like, I feel like it was more mean girl mentality, but that's just how I guess I perceived it. Is like it's just more being like mean and nasty as opposed to like being a bully. But that's my take on it. And the thing is though is that like Cameron does not come off to me as a mean girl at all. So I think that it's even like more for her to take in when somebody else is being like that to her. 'Cause I don't feel like Cameron's like that. Like I feel like she's a pretty sweet and nice person, but also don't let her think that like you think that she is not intelligent, because she's in pretty wrong, because she is intelligent. So when they were talking about like how Carrie was with Tiffany and like wanting her to drink at the one party and was trying to like keep giving her tequila, and you know, because she's just a fun time, I guess. Carrie, she is ready to let loose if she is out with the girls. She wants everybody having fun. You know, don't let her be the one drinking without you joining in. So, they like, it was like as if Carrie was a bully to Tiffany. And I feel like there's a big difference between peer pressure, hazing, and bullying. You know, to me, Carrie was more being like peer pressure, you know. But Tiffany didn't also have to give into it. Like, she could have just said, like, no. You know? So I kind of felt like, why complain about it when in that moment you could have just said no and went on with your life. Like, you don't have to take it as dramatically as what it was. Like, oh, she was pressuring me and bullying me into it. Like, you don't need to say yes, you know? But that's just, I guess, my opinion. And again, she was a new girl, so maybe she just didn't know that she should say no. I guess I am different. I would go with what I'm comfortable with. But for her, she went with it, and then later on felt like she got bullied or pressured into it. So, and then Cameron made me laugh because she said that Tiffany was three-faced. She's not even just two-faced, she's three-faced, and that just made me laugh. Then they talked about how, like I was talking about a little earlier, so Tiffany like messed with their food. One, we all know that Cameron is like a picky eater. If you've watched the previous seasons with her in it, like it's been joked about that she just likes to eat chicken tenders and like French fries, you know, like things like that. So, like shoot, I still like me some chicken tenders and French fries. I mean, I gotta be with Cameron on that. I mean, I even remember their trip to Thailand last year, and when she was eating there, she was like grossed out by half the things and stuff because she just doesn't eat that. And anyway, so Tiffany wanted everybody to be aware of her culture and like things that they eat and all that. So she like basically forces everybody to eat like chicken feet because it's like it's a delicacy in China. That's right. It's a delicacy. So she wanted like everybody to try something from her nation and her I want to say heritage, but I almost feel like that's probably not the right word. Her culture. Anyways, all I gotta say is this. There's some things in my life that you just don't mess with, okay? My kids, definitely. My husband. And my food. Don't come for my food, and don't put nothing gross in my food without me knowing. So when Tiffany decided to put crickets in the pizzas that she was making, which by the way, I'm pretty jealous of her pizza oven. I love pizza and I would love that pizza oven. Anyways, that's not the point. But I would be mad, like, don't fudge with my food. Don't fudge with it. It's my food. And don't put something in there that I am not interested in eating. So yeah, that's where I stand on that, is that I would be pretty mad. I probably would have been like Brandy and getting sick in the bathroom knowing that somebody just fed me cricket pizza. And I get it, it's a delicacy in other places, but just because that is a delicacy in other like cultures and in other countries doesn't mean that we have to be forced to eat it. So that was it. That was the wrap on the first part. I'm interested to seeing the second part though, because you know, like the first, I love Housewives and everything, and I always look forward to the reunions, but I always feel like the first part of the reunion is so boring. Like, let's get to the juicy stuff. I don't know if there's gonna be 2 or 3 parts for their reunion, but I am more than happy to get ready with you and to cover all of them. I know that the Housewives of New York, that they just came out with their new premiere, like I said, a couple days ago. So I'm going to watch that. And I'm going to get ready with you again and discuss it because I do love the New York Housewives. I'm just sad that Bethany's not on anymore. Like, I don't know. I'm interested to see how this season plays out with Luann and Ramona and Sonia. Leah, and then there's a new one. There's a new girl. There's a new lady on there too. So yeah, I'm really interested in that. And to see how the things played out with Heather Thompson when she came back. Yeah, I've been reading a lot of articles. So anyways, I'm going to do the New York Housewives probably tomorrow and upload it and all that. So thanks for hanging with me, doing my makeup, talking about the Real Housewives of Dallas. Leave me some comments. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to discuss it. I'll be back again. So if you are interested in these videos, just hit subscribe. Or follow me on Instagram at TiffLynLife. And I guess I'll just see you guys for the next one. Take care. Bye.